Hi everyone, welcome and thanks for joining us today. My name is Simon Bishara. I'm Community Manager with the Oxford Languages Marketing team and I'll be hosting the session today. So I'm delighted to be here with Tanvi Mehrotra, Laxmi Singh and Emily Hoyland. So now, without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to my colleague Tanvi so she can properly introduce herself and begin. So Tanvi, it's over to you.
Thanks, Simone. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Tanvi, and I work as content manager for the Indian Languages program of Oxford Languages. My main role is to curate and create datasets in different Indian languages. I would now let maybe Lakshmi and Emily introduce themselves, and then we could start with the presentation.
Great. Thanks, Tanvi. Hi, everyone. I'm Laxmi, and I work as the Acquisitions Manager for Indian Languages of Oxford Languages. Over to you, Emily.
Thank you. Hi, yes, I'm Emily Hoyland. I'm Product Manager for Indian Languages at Oxford Languages.
Thanks, Emily and Lakshmi. So we're now going to take you through the different types of language datasets that we have and how that datasets can help your businesses. So to begin with, these are the different kinds of products that we offer. We have the dictionary data, the curated parallel sentences corpus, translation pairs or word lists, thesaurus, sentence dictionary, and sound bank. We will now take you through the key features of each of these datasets and how we think they can be used best for your businesses. So I will start with the dictionary data that we have. We essentially have three kinds of dictionary data: monolingual, bilingual, and bilingualized. We also refer to the bilingualized dataset as the semi-bilingual dataset. So monolingual basically is a kind of dictionary or a dataset that is typically only in one language. It has all the words along with their definitions and some sample sentences to explain the usage. This dataset does not typically include any translations. Then we have the bilingual datasets. These are datasets between two languages. So they have the head word in one language, say English, and then the translation of that head word in another language. So it could be English, Hindi, English, Tamil, English, Telugu, and so on. These datasets are typically found in two directions. So if you have English, Hindi, you also have the Hindi, English, but the translation is only at the head word level. The third kind of dataset that we have is a semi-bilingual dataset. So this dataset also includes translations, but here the definitions of the English words are translated into the target language, be it Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam. So the bilingual has translation at the head word level, and the semi-bilingual has the translation of the definition. So typically, the monolingual dataset is used by native speakers of a language because they want to improve their understanding of that language or want to do some sort of research. The bilingual dataset is typically used by people who are working in a foreign language. For example, you are a speaker of English and you want to understand Hindi, or you want to know the translations of certain English words in Hindi, you will use the bilingual data set. It is, of course, it's mostly used for translation purposes, so it can be used for machine translation as well. The semi-bilingual data set is mostly used by those learning or improving their English. So it's available from, it is English, English, Hindi. So a Hindi speaker who wants to learn English or a Tamil speaker who wants to improve their English will typically use these data sets. This is just a pictorial representation of the different data sets using the same entry. So I'll go with the first one. we can look at the first panel, which has the entry cat in a monolingual dictionary. So in this case, you have the word cat in English or billi in Hindi, followed by its part of speech and its definition in the same language. So this is a monolingual data set. When we move to the bilingual data set, the word remains the same, cat, but instead of the translation, instead of the definition, all you get is a translation. So what is cat in Hindi? It's a billi. That's what you get. If you focus on sense 2, you will see that instead of a translation, there is of a word, there is the translation of the definition. And that is the case when a direct translation is not feasible in the target language. And finally, we come to the third kind of data set that includes your semi-bilingual. So basically in that, it's your definition that has been translated. The idea behind this data set is to let a speaker of one language, any Indian language, learn or improve English. Moving on to the next slide, these are the different use cases. So a monolingual, because it's a very large data set that has definitions and a list of words, it's ideal for spell checks. Of course, if you have a click to define feature in your product, and you want people to look up the definition or the meanings of a word, this would be ideal. The bilingual dataset is mostly ideal for translation use case. It can be used by humans, but it's equally helpful for machine translation because of the way the data has been structured. And of course, for predictive text. Finally, the bilingualized or the semi-bilingual, as I mentioned earlier, is most ideal for a learner's use case, but it can also be used for translations. I'll now move on to our next data set, which is basically curated parallel sentence corpus. So just like a bilingual provides you translation at the headword level, this data set provides you translations of various sentences. So what we did at our end is that we compiled 100,000 English sentences from our English corpus, from our English dictionaries. It's a mix of simple and complex sentences across different domains. And we have translated these sentences into different target Indian languages. And of course, all these sentences are linked to particular senses of the word. So your translation reflects the sense in which a word is used. So this corpus is invaluable for your AI use case, for your machine translation and NLP cases. Moving on, we have word lists. So word lists are essentially data sets that have lists of words in a given language ordered on frequency. So the most frequently used word will come on the top of the list, and that's how we go down. As you can see in the sample here, you have a sample of the Tamil word list and also of the Malayalam word list. The first column includes the word, then it also includes its frequency in the web corpus. It'll give you the category or the part of speech, so whether it's an article, it's a pronoun, and finally it also gives you the English equivalent. Moving on, Lakshmi will now take you through the remaining data sets. Lakshmi, over to you.
Thanks, Tanvi. So, moving on to the next data set, that's thesaurus. Our thesauri data sets provide a synonym of a word. So, it often gives you sense division for those synonyms. It may contain labels like formal, informal, slang, regional variant, and so on. It may also have antonyms and even related words in most cases. So these data sets are also fabulous for mobile OEMs and gaming app use cases, where a suitable alternative word can be suggested to the users. Um, our thesauri, which is a richly tagged and has interlinked network of semantic relation information, offers huge value addition for enhanced reading and writing use cases. These data sets will be very beneficial for mostly education platform that assist learning with reading, like your various e-learning platforms or your e-readers. It's also useful for predictive text apps. And because it offers sense-specific synonym suggestions, it would help readers in better understanding the context. It will help them develop their vocabulary and the tone, thereby offering them the enhanced reading experience. Moving on to the next set of data, that's sentence dictionary. Yeah. So for Indian languages, we currently have sentence dictionary in Hindi, and our Hindi monolingual sentence dictionary has more than 260K Hindi sentences. So that's approximately 2.6 lakh Hindi sentences. And these are real life Hindi examples. And all of these Hindi examples are linked at the sense level to our Hindi monolingual dictionary entries. That's approximately about 26,000 words in our Hindi monolingual dictionary. And because this data set has sense-specific example sentences, it supports both the language learning and the predictive use case. And it can also be used for training data. So that's about the sentence dictionary. Going on to another data set that we have, that's a sound bank. Here again, for Indian languages, we have a sound bank in Hindi, and our Hindi sound bank has around 68,000 audio files, which are linked to the entries in the Hindi monolingual dictionary. This audio has been recorded by native speaker, and it is ideal solution for transliteration with the pronunciation given in the written and the audio form. Though this dataset primarily supports language learners in pronunciation use case, mostly for the integrated display, some of our partners have been using this data for training their machines also. So, yeah, so that was about the data sets, different types of data sets that we've had so far. And the top language that we currently support is Hindi, along with Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, and other Indian languages. So for consultancy services, so other than various language products, Oxford Language also offers various consultancy services, and it consists of these five types. That's customization, lexical research and analysis, data enhancement and annotation, lexicography training, and translation. I'll quickly walk you through each of these. Yeah. Customization services. So, in cases where our customer requirements are not totally fulfilled by our off the shelf content, we offer bespoke solution package to customers where our products alongside the desired alteration is offered to meet the user requirement. So it's a Oxford Languages product with the desired alterations that the customer demands. We kind of provide a customized service package to the customer. Uh, the next is lexical research and analysis. So basically, under this type of service, we undertake research and analysis on our users' behalf for any specific research question or general topic of inquiry. So, as part of the service, we offer detailed analysis of the questions that's posed in the form of report, slide deck, visualization, phone call with experts also. You know, right. The third service that's there is data enhancement and annotation service. Um, so here what we do is the raw unstructured content data that the customer may have, we offer an optimization service to such data. So here such content is optimized with additional content from Oxford Languages. So basically we utilize our uh, content or our data set to optimize and enhance the already available data set or content that the customer may have. You know, so either so basically from Oxford Languages dataset linked to our sources or even external sources, we annotate with additional desired information the existing raw unstructured data of the customers. Um, next services is lexicography training. So if there's a request for any specific lexicography training service or support, we do offer that to our customers via live training sessions, training materials, content to support lexical creation, maybe by providing dictionary framework, all MR list. So again, it's bespoke. So if there is a requirement for any lexicography training, do reach out to us, and we can see what best can be made available here. The last that's there in the list is translation, and because we deal with the Indian languages, so translation of the Indian languages. So basically, here I would like to say that it's not only translation, but also the localization services as well would be included here. So a text in the source language, if you're looking for the translation of a source language text to a different Indian language, we do offer that service. Or if there's a content that needs to be localized, adapted to a certain region or certain regional language, we do take that service as well. So this was about the consultancy services that Oxford Languages offers, along with the various products as well that it has to offer. Yeah. So now I would like to hand over to Emily for taking us through the specific use cases for each of the products that we've discussed so far. Over to you, Emily.
Thank you so much, Laxmi. Yes, so I'll be walking through the resources that we already know can match requirements that you have as part of your business. But what we're really excited about is to extend this list, to hear from you about your products, to tell you about what problems that your products are trying to solve, how successful they are in doing that at this moment in time, and really open up a discussion about how our products can deliver real value to the problems that you're trying to solve and find the right solution. As Laxmi's described, we think we have a really great array, a breadth and depth of assets to be able to provide to you. And so a different collection of different sets that can work together to solve your problem is what we really want to be able to find. So as to the resources which already match requirements that we know about, I'll share those to kind of hopefully spark some ideas, but we're really excited to hear from you as to what you think, what you're excited to hear more about, and talk to us about your needs. So in terms of monolingual datasets, so monolingual dictionary datasets we know are especially effective for spell check, validation, and integrated word display in both platforms and applications. The pronunciation datasets, that's both audio and transliteration. I think often when we think of pronunciation, we go straight to audio, but we know that transliteration is so effective as well. So this is to support native speakers and language learners in pronunciation use cases. Most customers are really excited about this for integrated display, so being able to click on something and get that audio back to you or review the transliteration when they see the head word. But we also have partners who are using this data for machine learning, so we're really excited to talk to other partners about that. So thesauri, as we've said, provide a really richly tagged and interlinked network of semantic relations data. So this is really effective in integrated display use cases. And two key products and areas where we've seen this is in assisted writing and assisted reading products. So this is where our thesauri can add huge amounts of value to users by offering sense-specific synonym data for users to develop their vocabulary. And because that synonym data has also got that rich tagging of kind of usage and tone, it can also help develop a user's, whether they're going for a formal or an informal approach to their writing and reading, it can really help users in that area. Example sentences. So this supports both language learning and prediction use case. So in these cases, in the prediction use, this is to be used as training data. This includes collocation and sense-specific example sentences, so can be really effective. That curated example sentences can be really effective in driving that prediction. And then bilingual datasets. So in terms of bilingual dictionary datasets, so these are the ideal resource for the translation use case, both human and machine, because of the reasons that Tanvi was describing. And furthermore, what we offer is bidirectional bilinguals, so that all important sentences are captured across both languages, not just English and not just Indian languages, it's both. The bilingualized dictionary datasets are really the ideal dataset for language learning use case, and we see this most effectively used in integrated display, so fantastic in adult language learning platforms, language games and applications. Translation pairs have been really, really valuable in language game use cases, so that kind of validation, individual words across two languages. So this is really for companies, for products, for problems that have real needs in simple bilingual language presentation and are wanting to expand their reach or extend their reach in Indian languages. The curated parallel sentence corpus, so this can be used as training data for translation use cases. So the parallel construction means that the data is really useful in NLP, machine learning and AI use cases. In terms of what we understand about the market and in terms of what our customers and partners have told us about how our parallel data stands out in the marketplace, is because so much of the available parallel corpus is huge, which is fantastic, but it's often unverified and lacking in structure. So the addition of our curated parallel sentences makes for a really helpful addition and add value to that that training, because without our curated sentences, you're really just working with a bit more unreliable training data, so that addition of the curated can be really, really valuable. So this is just a list of all the current Indian languages that we have roadmapped and available to you. This is completely defined by what our customers tell us what we need. Our Indian languages product roadmap is in constant reevaluation, reassessment, bringing in new languages, new assets into what we want to build. So this will hopefully be increasing as we talk to more customers, understand your needs, understand which languages and which products you need. And we really look forward to having the conversations with you. That's everything from me. Am I handing back to you, Simone?
Thank you very much, Tanvi, Laxmi, and Emily. So we do have a couple of questions actually already. The first one is around whether this information is available for viewing or downloading somewhere.
Right. So this information exists in the handout, which is circulated at the beginning of the webinar. And other than that, our web page, which is mentioned here, would have the information. So detailed information would be available there.
So the other question I've got here is, where can I get specific information about the bespoke packages available? For instance, which features and languages can be included in a bespoke package?
So for information about bespoke packages, you can always write to us and we can schedule a call and discuss your requirements, and then based on that provide you the details that you would need for your package. This is here in case you're wondering where you can send us queries, so you can do that at oxfordlanguages@oup.com.
Simon, just one point which I felt I should add here is if the audience is thinking about, you know, how would they want to utilize Oxford Languages data set to suit their requirement or within their business use case, if there isn't clarity, or you know, if they do not have much idea about how well with our languages would fit in, I would encourage people to get in touch with us, because so we work with a product team who and you know, of course, the sales team and the content team that tries and curate and understand the business requirement, and basis the business requirement, try and offer the product to the customers. So if there's even a slightest unclarity about how and where would these data sets fit in, or how it can be used, please do reach out to us for any queries.
Thanks, Lakshmi. That's a very good point. And we actually have a couple of questions that have just come in. So the first one is, hi, I'd like to know something more about who is performing the data annotation translation. Do you have your own linguist team?
Yes, so we work with a set of linguists and language experts who, in most cases, it's outsourced, and even within the team. So it's a mixture of both. So basically, we have a team that looks into it. Yeah.
Thank you. And the other question is, do you have data sets for other forms of English? For example, differences between US and UK English?
Yes, we do. We have other forms of English also. So there is UK English, there is US English, there's also Australian English. So if there is a requirement for a data set, it can of course be made available for different types of Englishes.
And I suppose the best place to get more information would be on the link that is on the screen right now. And
yes,
absolutely.
Okay, thank you. And another question, do you also cover the Indian English variant?
So our English data sets, they have the Indian English label wherever applicable. And when we work on our bilinguals, we ensure that, for example, if it's an English to Hindi bilingual, we ensure that we include the Indian English terms, terms specific to India, such as cultural terms, religions, countries. So we do include that kind of information in our data sets.
Thank you. Can you indicate the price for 100,000 sentence bilingual data from English to local Indic language?
Well, it's
Our pricing policy actually is very bespoke. Laxmi and I cater to the market in India. And if you'd like that information, please reach out to us. We ensure to create packages that suit your business type, your use case. So the pricing policy is as per the business requirement, and we can certainly share this information with you if you could reach out to us after this webinar. Very happy to connect with you over that.
And the contact address is on the screen, so please do get in touch with us.
Just one thing that I wanted to mention to everyone who's part of this call, that Laxmi and I are based out of India, and we work very closely with the team in Oxford that has its own in-house lexicographers, linguists, data experts who create the data sets for us. And Laxmi and I are there to connect with the market in India to support the businesses in India in acquiring or licensing these data sets from us. So please do not hesitate to reach out to us. Our job is to support you in understanding your requirement, meeting your requirement, and also making bespoke packages for your organization and for your use case. So any questions, be it about the price, about licensing terms, or about the data itself, do not hesitate in reaching out to us. We'll definitely get back to you to understand it further.
Thanks, Tanvi. So it looks like these are all the questions that we've got for now. Okay. Is there anything else anyone would like to add?
No, thanks, Simone.
Well, I wanted to say a thank you again to all the three panelists. I greatly enjoyed the presentation, and thanks to all who attended as well. I hope you enjoyed it too. I wish everyone a good day, and thanks again. So from us for now, I think it's a goodbye.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, everyone.
Goodbye. Thank you,
Bye, everyone.